I'm excited to announce that we're having our first ever mega sale on overstock clearance and brand new products. For example, save over 50% on this season's flannel sheets. Queen size only $59.98. Kings only $69.98. They sell out fast every year, so order now. Save 20% on our brand new My Crosses. They're designed in the likeness of the one I've worn every day for over 20 years. They come in men's and women's, and they're made right here in the USA. Get our 2025 six-piece My Towel sets for only $29.98. Our initial quantities are extremely low, so get them now before they go. And our best-selling standard My Pillows, just $14.98. So go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use this promo code to take advantage of our first ever mega sale. But wait, remember that $75 free shipping rule? Well, that ship is sailed because right now, every order ships absolutely free.
That's right, guys. Welcome back. Absolutely free. Happy Tuesday, February 11th. Having a good day today. Got a lot to report on with these activist judges and things going on around the country, the world. Thank you for tuning in. If I could get you to hit that like button and share this out, we would appreciate it. Hello, Aruba Dive Girl, Old Uncle Bill, Hunter, Nola, thank you for tuning in. Appreciate you all very much. We were playing around a little while ago. Many of you jumped in the stream. We were trying to get something set up, and hopefully we figured some stuff out. We might be doing a test stream at like 9 o'clock my time, or maybe a little sooner, 8:30 my time, which would be 11:30 or 12:30 on the East Coast, to try out some stuff, to try to help facilitate some funds while we're streaming. So, Rumble Studio gives us that opportunity, and I've tried it before, but then I was talking to somebody, and Will called me up this morning, and he's like, yeah, I'll walk you through it. So Will's doing some shows today, but after that, we might have something figured out. Once again, thank you all for tuning in. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. I know I told you I got to tell you a story before we really get going. So for about a month, Caden's been asking for a remote control tow truck. So Caden don't watch regular cartoons. He loves, like a good example is there's people out there that have YouTube channels that are kid friendly that talk about the suspension on their RC cars and the things they do with their RC cars. And even some of them are from the UK and is better than any cartoon that we can find. And so, like, instead of saying motorcycle, he's stuck on saying motorbike. But he's seen something about 6 weeks ago, which was a remote control tow truck. And so Rachel called me up. We were in LA, I think. And she goes, man, he will not stop talking about this remote control tow truck. And I was like, what? So I looked online. I couldn't find anything. And then last week, hello, died suddenly. Last week, he had it on. And I asked Rachel, is this where he's seen the remote control tow truck? And she goes, yeah. And I was like, oh, that's not a kid's toy then. And I look it up and I found it $700. And so we happened, and I told you guys, we happened to walk into Target the other day. We went through the toy section, and there was a remote control tow truck. And it was $16.99. It had a little generic car on the flatbed with a little winch. And he was like, oh, I want that. And I was like, all right, well, you got to do some things. You got to earn it. So he's been doing what we've asked. And so last night, every morning he's woke up. He's like, how many more days, Dad, till I get my big boy tow truck? So last night, after I got home from Bakersfield, Rachel went to church and I took him. And on the way there, I want to play it, just a little bit of this. I've never seen this kid so excited over anything. He was in the back seat saying, I super excited, Dad. I super excited. Listen to this.
Yeah. Mouse in the house. Are you a big boy? Yeah. Dad, I'm super excited.
I'm super excited. And so it was just absolutely excellent. So we went down there. We got it. I let him walk me around the store to find it. It was funny. It took him like 5 minutes to find the toy section. And man, he's just, I've never seen him so thrilled over a car. He loves cars, trucks, dirt, mud, typical boy. But I just thought it was the cutest thing last night when he's in the back seat. He goes, Dad, I'm super excited. And I was like, oh, good for you. Good for you. So we're going to get into it right now. Thank you guys all for tuning in. I appreciate you all. We've talked about some of the people that have been in Congress and the Senate, and we just need some really good term limits, especially with our lifetime people. And people say, well, Trump's old. Well, you have a difference. You can see the people that are healthy, like, no offense, I'm 46 years old, and I'm not gonna go apply for some sport that takes youth and agility. It's the same thing. Some people age a little different than others. If you look at Joe Biden versus Trump, that's your contrast. 76-year-old Democrat Congressman John Larson. We played this on our drive-in chat, but I wasn't available. It wasn't available to put the video up. And I just want you to watch this.
Basis.
As he freezes, completely freezes. Very, very similar to Malfunction Mitch. If you guys remember when Mitch was up there speaking and he just goes blank. And I'm not bashing these people. I hope they get the medical attention they need. But I kind of watch world news and I watch what other governments are doing, and other governments don't have people that just sit there and freeze, or they would be gone. Take a look at this.
Sorry, no one on the Republican side in the House and Senate, who control both the House and Senate, is going to speak up and challenge us. But we need to protect Americans' privacy and their social security. For 40% of all Americans, Social Security is the basis for their retirement and their retirement savings. And for 28 million Americans, Social Security is the only thing that they have. And that's why we have to make sure that we are protecting it as well.
Listen, like I said, I don't wish illness, harm, bad health on anybody. Not our thing here. A couple things I'm thinking when I seen this last night is, I'm sure he's a Democrat. I'm sure he's jabbed and boosted more than you could imagine, but we'll never hear the truth to that if that was some effect. But it looked like a slight stroke. Again, he is 76 years old. And I guess what just amazes me is we're the constituents for these folks. People have elected these folks. And the reason why I'm saying this, and I see it all the time in California, I'm not going to call out no names, but you see the same unelectable people running. The same, that's great that you'll step up, you'll knock on doors, and you'll do all this. But there's people out there that could win that we need to get behind. And we need to get people. I mean, do you seriously think in your life that this person relates to you in any way. And the reason I say that is because when I started taking on the CUSD school board, Clovis Unified School District, there was not one board member that even had a child in the damn school. And I'm like, wait a second. If we're complaining about parent pickup, you don't have to deal with that. Yeah, you got to pick up your grandkids once in a while. But overall, the health of these people, and that's the same day that this video of one of our buddies,
how are you feeling, Leader McConnell?
Mitch, look at this. There's Mitch having to.
How are you feeling, Leader McConnell?
I mean,
how are you feeling, Leader McConnell?
he's feeling like a vegetable. I don't care if these people are on the Democrat side, the Republican side. I gave a hard time to Joe Biden, who couldn't complete a sentence. But at some point, especially malfunction Mitch, we would almost be better off if a Democrat took a seat at this point, because again, he's a rhino. But at what point do we say enough is enough? There's people out there that want to run for these seats, and it's up to us, the constituents, the grassroots conservatives, to get them there. Now, if they've ran 3 times in a row, we see this all the time in California. What was that douchebag's name? Omar, that was running against Maxine Waters. He completely unelectable, using the money to survive. We don't need campaigns like that. We need to get people in there that have a chance of winning and that'll represent us, the American people, and share the same ideologues, the same issues, the same suffering that we share. And it's just crazy. So we're going to get into some funny news. Elon Musk has changed his name on X to Harry Balls. This is in reference to Big Balls, because there was a 16-year-old that created the nickname Big Balls, and CNN thought that was worth reporting because he's 19 now, and he's working on the Doge team. He's an incredibly intelligent human being, very good with computers, very good with coding, and he's part of the audit for our federal government. And let's not forget that he also had three or four businesses when he was 16, LLCs, which I don't know many 16-year-olds that do. And it was Sexy Tesla LLC. And they said, I can't believe he's using that name. So we got 2 kind of quick funnies here. This was something Elon Musk shared, and they are literally writing articles and talking about it on CNN, guys. Look at this. Elon Musk parody account claims discount on circumcisions. A series of social media posts from accounts impersonating Elon Musk as Harry Balls have circulated claims that Musk is entering the business of providing discounted circumcisions globally, positioning this as a critique against USAID's pricing model for similar services. No official confirmation from Musk or credible source about this venture has been found, indicating that these posts might be satirical or trolling in nature. So what does Elon Musk do? Check this out. It says, look at his post. It says, check out my bio. So we pull this up. We go to his bio. Oh, he removed it. It did say like 90% discount on circumcisions or something like an hour ago. Now moving on to breaking news, slow news day. I mean, it can't be a slow news day when you have activist judges, when you have Doge that just continues day in and day out to save the American people hundreds of millions of dollars of waste, abuse, and fraud. And we see Democrats defending that waste, abuse, and fraud. Take a listen to this.
The alias, at least he changed his social. Now, the disruptor in chief, Elon Musk, who apparently has adopted the alias. At least he changed his social media handle to Harry. Tweeted this morning, democracy in America is being destroyed by judicial coup. An activist judge is not a real judge. And as now, the disruptor in chief, Elon Musk, who
is
apparently
now known as AKA Harry Balls. When you can control legacy media, corporate media, the ones that are out the door right now, that are panicking, that is a good day in America. And Google finally changed the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America. And I seriously want to ask you, does this hurt your feelings? Because it's hurting a lot of people's feelings. I mean, you are truly learning the people that hate America, that either love Mexico more than America or just hate America that much. And just to let you know, this is America, is the, you're on the North American continent, whether you're with Canada, right? So look at what this person put on X. It says, hey, Google Maps, I'll use Apple Maps. They're going to change their map because of this. The Gulf of Mexico changed to this, the Gulf of America. That's literally upsetting their day. And you got to ask yourself, and I thought it was great because I'd already seen the articles where all maps are changing. And someone in the comments puts this. It says, Apple Maps is changing theirs tomorrow, unfortunately. Wah, wah, wah. These people, these people aren't going to update their maps. They're going to be driving somewhere, end up off a cliff because they're just going to fight Trump. They're going to fight this. And I just thought it was absolutely incredible that these people are so twisted that's what their stance is going to be. Like, out of everything going on, you're not worried about everybody losing the Social Security because that's what Democrats are saying. They're lying. Now, listen to this. Of course, another CNN, and we're going to get into this because this is hilarious.
We are 3 weeks into the second Trump presidency, 3 weeks. And tonight, there are warnings that the U.S. is dangerously close to a constitutional crisis. Now, the first shoe on this dropped when a federal judge today said the White House is defying his order to unfreeze billions of dollars in federal aid. The first time that we've had a judge expressly accuse the Trump administration of ignoring a court ruling. And in a separate case today, federal employees here in Washington told a judge that the administration was defying another order by not reinstating workers who had been put on leave. Now, this all has prominent Democrats and many of the nation's top constitutional scholars declaring that the U.S. is on the brink of a reckoning. The Trump Justice Department says the president should have the authority to decide how to run the government and that these judges are overreaching. And some of the president's allies say the judges should not be judging any of the moves to shrink the federal government.
Well, we're going to talk a little bit about that. And there's so many court cases right now where they have activist judges. And I think I have a video coming up in a minute. You notice where these judges are out of. These judges are handpicked to decide on these cases. They're not in Texas. They're not in some red state. They're in Rhode Island. They're in Boston. The far left judges we'll see what happens, but I think the power of the people might defeat these judges. And there's a tweet or a post, a Truth Social post from Trump I want to get into really quick. And this will kill the so-called climate activists, the cult, the climate cult. But Trump posted this. I'm hereby instructing Secretary Lee Zeldin to immediately go back to my environmental orders, which were terminated by crooked Joe Biden, on water standards and flow pertaining to sinks, showers, toilets, washing machines, dishwashers, etc., and to likewise go back to the common sense standard on light bulbs that were put in place by the Trump administration but terminated by crooked Joe. I look forward to signing these orders. Thank you. Now, I don't know if you guys know this. In California, we have all kind of regulations that maybe you might not see in your state. And like we have what we call a man-made drought. We don't store our water, and the water that we do store, we allow millions of gallons a day to go out into the ocean instead of replenishing our aquifers, flooding farmlands, keeping it for a non-rainy day. You know, you need it for a rainy day. Well, sometimes in California, and this isn't because of climate change, this is, you go back hundreds of years, California, very similar to desert. We have a lot of desert in California. California actually has drought years and heavy rain years. The last 2 years in California has been incredible. Our snowpack, everything else. This year, we're still waiting to see. It's probably going to be about average. And so we see a lot of regulations. You can get fined for watering your lawn on non-watering days. They tell you when you can water your lawn. And if you've ever, we travel a lot and we go to places, and I just want to say, we don't have one of those shower heads here. You know, when I get in the shower, I remember Matt's not in here. But when we were staying at Bunker Hill, we were showering at the local pilot station. And I'll tell you what, those showers at a pilot station are cleaner than most hotel rooms. And I'm talking 4-star hotels. It was amazing. I remember the first time I stepped in there, I was looking around and I was like, wow. But they had one particular shower. It was like you were opening up a fire hydrant. I mean, it would take off your first layer of skin at like 40 gallons per minute. We all loved it. But we go to some hotels, and I was in LA just, was it last week or the week before? And sure enough, it took like 4 minutes for my entire body just to get wet when I got in the shower. This thing was doing like a cup of water every 2 minutes. That's how Democrats want you to live. Now, there's no reason for that. There is a huge supply of water. It's what you do with the water. And so if you guys remember the numbers during Trump's administration, in the last 50 or so years, we had the cleanest air and the cleanest water under Trump. He wasn't taxing you for that. He wasn't taking away your God-given rights of taking a shower how you like. He wasn't doing any of this. And this is probably what the constitutional crisis that they are talking about right now. I don't know what you guys think, but I'm thinking, I remember watching Glenn Beck when they were changing out all these light bulbs and going to this and going to that. And it's pretty sad that Democrats, again, another hill to fight on. It doesn't matter what Trump does. They're going to fight. During the Super Bowl, he announced, and we haven't covered that, Trump wants to stop the production of the penny. And John Stossel does some very good reporting on some stuff. And I want you to watch just a little bit of this. Take a look at this.
Each 3 cents. Some are paid to make pennies. Most Americans no longer want pennies, but government still makes them at a cost of 3 cents each. 3 cents to make 1 cent, losing taxpayers $100 million a year. That's government.
So, and you have people out here, oh, Trump can't, like, again, when there's stupid things that are happening, and that's costing us $100 million a year, that's what we're losing. These are the things we elected Trump to cut out. Like common sense. If you, and I get a lot of people can't run a business and would just go bankrupt in a day, but I've ran businesses. I've run a business now. And if you actually run your business like any arm of the government does, could you imagine that? That would be like, hey, there's hotels for $129 over here in Albuquerque. Well, we're going to go for the ones for $260. If we did that, we wouldn't be traveling, folks. And those are our tax dollars. And I don't care if it saves $10,000. Every penny adds up. We got some other stuff on the horizon before we get too much into the activist judges. President Donald J. Trump welcomed King of Jordan, Abdullah, and Crown Prince of Jordan, Al Hussein bin Abdullah, to the White House. And remember, we're going to talk a little bit about the Palestinians. None of those countries over there wanting these people in their country, and there's a good reason why. It's not because they're bigots, homophobes, or racist, like the left likes to say. It's because of who these people are. Behind the scenes right here before we get into it. He is such a boss. He just a natural born leader, and these people love meeting with him. Now, listen what was said during a press conference. It says Jordan's King Abdullah announces the kingdom will accept 2,000 very ill, cancer-stricken children from Gaza as quickly as possible. So the left is upset about this too. So they're willing to accept children that are very ill with cancer. And this is great for President Trump. Again, under Biden, nobody would accept them. And Trump's making deals.
Really good, and we appreciate it.
One of the things that we can do right away is take 2,000 children that are either cancer children or in a very ill state to Jordan as quickly as possible, and then wait for, I think, the Egyptians to present their plan on how we can work with the president to work on the Gaza challenges.
So I want to tell you, excuse me, wait, just please. I didn't know that what you just said, 2,000 children with cancer or other problems. And that's really a beautiful gesture. That's really good. And we appreciate it.
One of the things that we can do right away is take...
Trump's done more for the children of Gaza than Biden ever did, and Democrats still have a problem with it. Isn't that funny? And so the Party for Socialism and Liberation, just to keep you up on the socialist and the anti-Americans, listen to this post they put up. It says right now, Trump is meeting in the White House with the King of Jordan, one of the countries he wants to force millions of Palestinians into so their homeland can become Trump property owned by the United States. This comes a day after he called on Israel to resume its genocidal assault on Gaza this coming Saturday. Trump is fully committed to Israel's genocide, displacement, and colonialism, but he will never break the Palestinians' people will to stand up for freedom. Oh, man. So they said that this comes a day after he called on Israel to resume its genocidal assault. What he said is the remaining hostages need to be released, and they probably won't because many of them are dead because Palestinians are Hamas terrorists. And this is what Hamas has done, is brutally torture, rape, and murder people of Israel, people of many countries. And Trump said there should be all hell to pay. And again, I don't have a whole lot of sympathy for some of these folks. Again, we've watched numerous videos. These people want death to America. They raise their children for death to America. They don't mind strapping on a backpack and blowing themselves up in the name of their country. And if there's opportunities for a country to take sick children and willing to work with them, I think that's a good thing. And it's unfortunate that, of course, the Marxist socialist, like that party there, can't find any good in anything. Speaking of good, guys, Doge, today, the Department of Education terminated 29 DEI training grants totaling $101 million. $101 million, guys. We're saving money every day. It says one sought to train teachers to help students understand, interrogate the complex histories involved in oppression, and help students recognize areas of privilege and power on an individual and collective basis. This is not doing anything for our kids, telling them, hey, you're black, you'll never end up to be anything. This is exactly what the social justice, what our education system has become. You see it in LA. The students are out there stabbing each other on the 6th day that they walked out of class because education isn't important. And don't get me wrong, they're not getting an education in Los Angeles Unified School District. They're getting an indoctrination. They're even being taught you're on stolen land, and they go out there and chirp that before they start stabbing each other. Again, we need to go back. When I was in school, I can tell you, nobody was oppressed. Nobody was taught more because of their skin color. We all sat in the same classroom. We were all grateful. We all pledged to the American flag, and we talked about how great this country is. We talked about some of the issues we've been through, some of the not so great times, but we didn't dwell on the not so great times and say, oh, somebody owes you. You weren't around for this. Hell, nobody in your family was alive for this, but for somehow you're still a victim. That's what we're going to expedite out of the classrooms. And again, the Department of Education, these Democrats are going nuts. And yesterday we reported on this, but I wanted to show you some comments. Chucky Schumer, good old Chucky, the one that threatened the Supreme Court justices. Yeah, that guy. He goes, today I'm calling on brave public servants. I'm launching a new portal for anyone who wants to expose corruptions, abuses of power, and threats to public safety with the legal protections of being a whistleblower. We laughed about it yesterday. We'll laugh about it today. I just want you guys to read some of the comments in here. I'm going to show you what people have been putting on here. Even Harry Balls, a.k.a. Elon Musk, says, look into the Schumer guy. He's definitely done crime. Look at this one. I made my whistleblower report, and you should too. And it was they made it under criminal activity. This group of corrupt politicians have used our tax dollars to destabilize America, enrich themselves, and launder money to their donors. Their ringleader, Schiff, Pelosi, and Schumer need to be the first to be tried for treason. I'll bring the rope. These are some of the things submitted. You have Tommy Taden, pretty sure that's a DHS asset, talking about the setup on January 6th. I would like to report an abuse of power and a threat to public safety. Remember the old Schumer burger? This is just great. We want total transparency. You better lower it up. You can't extort the American taxpayers anymore. Shadow, that's Soros. Government, that's Schumer. This is backfiring on them more than you could imagine, but they will find some. They will find somebody, just like they found people to go after Trump, just like they said, just like they found people to go after Kavanaugh. I don't remember where he touched me or when he touched me. I just know he touched me. Do you know what year it is? No, I don't know what year it is. Okay, well, you seem very credible. And how much has the Gift Sin Goes got you for testifying? Oh, over $1 million. Yeah, you're not being paid off. Okay, so this is interesting. We are getting so many judges going against the Trump administration. We talked about J.D. Vance's tweet that Trump is the president of the United States. He is to take executive action, and if he was elected to ensure that our tax dollars spent is benefiting the American people, then he has the right to hold off payments. We just had from FEMA Another $59 million last week go to foreign-owned hotels in New York City for illegals. And so we're going to get into that towards the end of the show. But check this out. Breaking: a federal judge has ordered the Trump administration to restore public health web pages it abruptly deleted last month until further litigation plays out. I just, do you not see what these judges are doing? It says Defendant Department of Health and Human Services, Centers for Disease Control, and FDA shall, by no later than 11:59 p.m. on February 11th, restore their versions as of January 30th, 2025. Now, a lot of those things on there were inappropriate. Our government should not be talking about sex changes or any gender mutilization, promoting that. No judge made them do it when we were promoting all that stuff under Democrat control. Libs of TikTok posted, U.S. District Judge John Bates orders Trump to restore web pages on sex change operations and gender ideology across HHS, CDC, and FDA websites. Let me see something really quick. I want to see where he's out of, just to prove to you how they're hand chosen. Let's go to this. Where is he at? Oh, he's a DC judge. No wonder. John Bates. Man. You want to talk about a crisis to our Constitution, CNN? This is for Citizens for Ethics, and you already know from the name of it, it's a far left-wing organization. 8 lawsuits against Doge have been filed so far. We filed one of them. You have all these left-wing organizations that, again, the money laundering that we are exposing, it was going to fund a lot of these groups. And now they're panicking. They're going to do everything. I used the analogy yesterday. I'm just going to say, if you had a murderer out on the loose, he shot and killed 12 people. He knows when he's caught, he's done for. He's going to fight with every last round of ammunition in his magazine to stay alive, to stay out of jail. That is what Democrats are doing right now. We have not even scratched the surface, guys. They think they can fix it up until right now. If they can halt everything and stop it, that this will just go out of the news and they'll be fine. That's not what's going to happen. And, of course, one of those loudest spokesmen against that. Take a listen.
Allows Donald Trump.
Without objection.
Now, Mr. President, in his first 3 weeks in office, Donald Trump has waged a scorched-earth campaign against the rule of law. Now, we all know Donald Trump, of course, won the election last November. And as we all know, he can cut back large parts of the government. But nothing in the Constitution, nothing in our grand tradition of American separation of powers allows Donald Trump to break the law in order to achieve those goals. Let me repeat that. Nothing. Donald Trump campaigned on cutting back the government. That's true.
So, again, Chucky's up here saying he's doing promises made, promises kept. But they're trying to say what he's doing is illegal. Being a good steward of the taxpayer is now illegal. As long as it cuts off the NGOs, it must be illegal. Listen to this guy.
But he is not allowed to break the law to achieve those goals. That is not how America works. You campaign, you put your idea.
Without objection.
Now, Mr. President, goals. Let me repeat that. No.
So, Do you think Chucky's going to clarify what laws he broke? Do you think so? Do you think maybe we'll get some insight? Let's find out. Let's find out, Chucky.
Nothing. Donald Trump campaigned on cutting back the government. That's true. But he is not allowed to break the law to achieve those goals. That is not how America works. You campaign, you put your ideas forward. In this case, Donald Trump won. But he did not campaign on breaking the law, and the American people don't want him to break the law. And the reason we have a system of checks and balances is so that even when one side wins an election, there's a check, there's a balance. That's what America's been all about for over 200 years. And at this point, Donald Trump is trying to break that tradition in area after area after area. And so
he's worried about traditions. Traditionally, red or blue, the president didn't care about wasting your tax dollars. You can go back as far. I know a lot of people hold Ronald Reagan up on this pedestal. But there was waste, abuse, and fraud that was rampant that he knew about, and he didn't go in there with a sledgehammer. And now that we got somebody that's untraditional, this is what we're dealing with. They want a traditional president. Listen to this.
This is what the voters voted for. Well, it's a breath of fresh air that Elon has come in. I guess you'd say a bull in a china shop, which is a term that we use in the United States. But what's important to point out is that this is what the voters voted for. They voted for President Trump to put together the right people to change the country, to change the direction of the United States. And that is something that I think Elon Musk is doing. And despite the some of the media outrage, as we talk about the credibility of the media, President Trump's poll numbers have never been higher. He's at his absolute best popularity right now with Elon Musk helping him change the system. Well, it's a breath of fresh air that Elon has come in. I guess you'd say a bull in a
china shop. I actually told that to one of our new Fresno County supervisors when he was doing door knocking here in Fresno. And he has, I already had his yard sign in the yard, and I was like, we need a bull in a china shop. And he said, that's what I'll be. Amen to that. Watch this right here. Watch these different takes from CNN. It's kind of funny. We're going to discuss
questions
it a little,
decided.
You got to
Let
love Scott Jennings.
I get it. You want individual federal judges who hate Donald Trump.
No, I don't.
To tie him up for 4 years.
No, I don't.
If you want a big
Not at
policy
all.
questions decided, let the Supreme Court do it. But in the interim, the executive has to be allowed to govern.
Am I wrong about that?
Well, you're supposed to comply, but Scott's absolutely right in that the court cannot say you have to spend these dollars today. So as a governor, I dealt with this. We got things challenged in state court and federal court. It's all judge shopped, by the way. Judges don't randomly get these cases. There's a reason that these cases are filed in Boston, the Boston court, or a certain district, Rhode Island, because they know they're going to get a judge.
You raise the right point. Should the president,
the
the singular president, should he have to share the presidency with 300 district court judges? No, absolutely not.
But the point, though, you made a really good point that there have been judges that shut down some of President Biden's executive actions, and they understand. The Biden administration understood that
he ignored
the checks and balances.
The Supreme Court tried to stop me, but they never will.
But not in the way that Donald Trump is.
Who said
not
that?
in the way that
Joe Biden.
Yeah,
Joe
but
Biden.
Donald Trump
Scott, he actually didn't ignore it.
He
That's
did.
right.
They continue to plow forward with student
No, he
aid. How
didn't.
much did they spend?
Let me set the record on
He
this.
actually got dinged.
I hated the student loan forgiveness policy.
What did he say out loud?
I thought it was a ridiculous policy. I thought it was unconstitutional. I predicted it would get struck down. It did get struck down, and I applauded. He did not ignore it, though. He went and tried under a different law.
So he ignored it.
You're allowed. No,
that's not ignoring it. That
So
is
he was
trying
not
to
ignoring
make
it.
it
He's
work
trying to
under
do
law.
it.
He
He's trying to do
literally
it.
defied it.
But let me just understand where you stand. If a district court judge rules in a way that the president dislikes, should the president listen or should the president defy?
If a district court judge tries to usurp the authority of the chief executive of this country, he should absolutely defy it. There's a difference between broad policy decisions and discrete disputes between parties. That's the difference. If I want a policy decided, I'll take it to the
But what
Supreme
about
Court.
checks and balances?
So you're saying that a judge should decide how and when money is spent
A judge is saying
for years, and not the president of the United
Scott,
States.
let me explain
You're a governor,
little bit
you
more.
know.
Let me explain it a little bit more slowly. A judge is saying
You don't have to talk to me like that.
Congress.
I have a position on this, and you have an opinion. We can disagree.
Yeah, but I'm saying you listen to me because you're not listening, and you're making claims that are not connected to the facts. The judge is saying
maybe you are.
Congress appropriated a certain amount of money.
Yeah.
We need to litigate this.
Okay.
While we litigate this, we're going to put a hold on the actions that you took that might be unconstitutional.
So while we
That's
litigate,
part of the process. Why
this,
can't-
I'm
why
a
doesn't
judge
that
and
work?
I'm in charge of the executive branch, and you're not. Forget it.
Yeah,
I totally
you just
disagree.
can't compel the executive branch to spend the dollars. You can't do that. They
Okay.
can't say we're going to start. The
Have
judges
you
are going to
heard
start
of
writing
the
the checks. They have every right to
Have you
hold
heard
that.
the
No matter who the president is, the duly elected chief executive of this country, they should not be sharing the broad plenary powers of the presidency with 300 individual district court judges. That is not what the people.
That is a great position to take when you are in.
And you could see that the left, the Marxists, go completely off emotion. And all of a sudden they're supporting this. And Joe Biden didn't follow the judge's orders when it came to student loan debt, which meant that Joe Biden was actually, instead of saving you tax dollars, he was making you pay for an education you didn't receive. He was putting the bill on your back. Big difference there. Now, here, your tax dollars are going out, and Trump's saying, whoa. Is this good for America? Is this America first? We're going to put a freeze on this. We're going to see if we really want to do things. And again, we're going to talk here in a moment about how another $59 million went out, and there's been some repercussions. Let's just say somebody at FEMA doesn't have their job anymore, versus Joe Biden says, hey, I'm buying votes, guys. How do we get the young vote? We pay off their college debt. Let's pay off their college debt. Did nothing to lower the cost of college. Really, college is unaffordable. We shouldn't keep subsidizing colleges, subsidizing students to go to college. That's not how it works. College should be affordable. College should be affordable, and not affordable because your tax dollars are going to it. This is just absolutely insane. Listen to what Speaker Mike Johnson said. This is in regards to a quote that J.D. Vance put up. And it said, if a judge tried to tell a general how to conduct a military operation, that would be illegal. If a judge tried to command the attorney general in how to use her discretion as prosecutor, that's also illegal. Judges aren't allowed to control the executive's legitimate power. Take a listen to this.
In the interim, I will say I agree wholeheartedly with Vice President J.D. Vance, my friend, because he's right. What they're doing in the executive branch, I've been asked so many times, aren't you uncomfortable with this? No, I'm not, because when Congress, for example, appropriates dollars for the executive, we build in, not only in the spirit of the law, but in the letter of the law, a broad amount of discretion for how that is used. There is a presupposition in America that the commander-in-chief is going to be a good steward of taxpayer dollars, that the commander-in-chief, the president of the United States, is going to command those within his branch of government to do the right thing by the people, to be accountable, to not fund drag shows in Middle Eastern countries or South America, to not waste our taxpayer dollars. And that's what has been uncovered. And that's why we and the people are applauding what's happening right now in the new administration, because they've taken that seriously and they're doing it. The forensic audits, effectively, that Doge and Elon Musk are leading. In the interim, I will say I agree wholeheartedly with
and there is some taxpayers. There's a small minority of taxpayers that do want their money going to transgender operas in Serbia. They do. And they're a very small minority. They hate America. They know that the United States has its largest homeless population ever. Now, screw them. Let's get transgender drag shows going on. This is just what we are dealing with right now, guys. Just what we are doing. And just for hypocrisy's sake,
I think that there has been thought, I believe, given to this. Senator Ron Wyden has already issued statements, for example, advising what we should do in a situation like this, which I concur, which is that I believe that the Biden administration should ignore this ruling. I think that
This is on the school buyouts, the loans. Passing the buck on to you, AOC. Say that again for me, AOC, so I can understand what you're saying. Listen to this. Here we go.
Has been thought, I believe, given to this. Senator Ron Wyden has already issued statements, for example, advising what we should do in a situation like this, which I concur, which is that I believe that the Biden administration should ignore this ruling. I think that the courts have the legitimacy and they rely.
Calling for Biden to ignore that ruling, which he did. Which he did numerous times. Rep. Eli Crane, if you guys remember, Rep. Eli Crane was actually out at the D.C. Gulag fighting for the pardoned J6 hostages that Washington, D.C. were dragging their feet on releasing while we were out there. Actually, I don't know if Sansia is in here, but Sansia actually won the coin, the congressional coin that he gave us in last week's raffle. He says, I am drafting articles of impeachment for U.S. District Judge Paul Ingermayer. Partisan judges abusing their position is a threat to democracy. The left has done irreparable harm to this country. President Trump and his team at Doge are trying to fix it. Don't know if this will go anywhere. It would be awesome to see like a message sent to one of these judges. I truly don't know how this process works. I haven't had time to look into it. I'm sure over the next 4 days, I will become an expert on impeaching U.S. district judges. But for right now, let's just say Eli Crane is going to be working on that. Again, as these people are going through the books, they are finding fraud. Trump put a freeze out to these agencies, one of them being FEMA. And not for North Carolina, not for California, not for people that are affected by wildfires, hurricanes, things like this, but anything that goes with aiding and harboring illegal aliens. And check this out. This is good news.
Fox News Alert moments ago, we received this together. We received a statement from the DHS regarding the $59 million sent from FEMA to New York City migrants last week. Quote, 4 employees being fired today for circumventing leadership and unilaterally making the egregious payment for hotels for migrants in New York City. We have not announced it yet, so we have it first. There's going to be firings, the names are going to be out, and let's bring in New York Congressman Mike Lawler. Congressman, your thought about that move?
Well, it's long overdue, frankly. These funds have been misappropriated going back to the Biden administration. And New York City, a sanctuary city, has been wasting billions of dollars of taxpayer money, billions with a B, to provide free housing, clothing, food, education, and health care to illegal immigrants, including criminal aliens that are here illegally. And so, I applaud, frankly, DHS for taking action to stop these payments under President Trump's leadership, because we have incentivized cities like New York and states like New York, a sanctuary state, to allow this to continue, and it has to stop.
Wow, we got 4 fired. Let's get into that a little bit. Again, that was an executive order by the President of the United States. Benny Johnson shared, this is a video of FEMA CFO Mary Coleman saying her role is to ensure the best use of resources entrusted to us at FEMA. Mary was just fired. Here's one of your folks that no longer has a job, no longer on your tax dollar payroll. Take a listen.
Hello, my name is Mary Comans, and I serve as FEMA's Chief Financial Officer. It's a pleasure to welcome you to the CFO organization. FEMA's mission is helping people before, during, and after disasters. And I'm excited that you've joined the team and are considering how to further enhance your skills and support the agency and the citizens we serve. Here in the CFO organization, we have 3 strategic priorities. Build an empowered, experienced, and engaged workforce, promote organizational alignment and collaboration, and mature the business processes across the agency. Our job is to ensure the best use of the resources entrusted to us. And every one of you has an important part in that job. I want to emphasize the importance of our mission and the part you play in it. We support our employees' growth and encourage our team to further enhance their skills. Whether it's joining the team in the National Response Coordination Center or being part of the best disaster cadre, our financial management cadre. Your subject matter expertise can be put to good use. At FEMA, every employee is an emergency manager. This allows our agency to be expeditionary. It affords our employees opportunities for personal and professional growth, as well as ensures that FEMA is ready to respond when the nation calls on us to deliver our mission. Simply put, we have to be prepared to deploy and support FEMA's mission, regardless of our role or our title. So be ready.
Be ready. She's ready to go in the unemployment line, and I'm sure she's going to sue you for your taxpayer dollars because, once again, $59 million to go to a foreign hotel. It's owned, what is it? We covered it. I think it was covered. It was owned by Pakistan. And they've been getting millions and hundreds of millions of dollars to help in aiding and abetting the illegal invasion on our southern border. And again, I'm going to tell you right now, guys, when we were talking, you know, I'm a huge Trump supporter. I think what he does is incredible. I think there's going to be people upset. It's going to hurt some folks. But you know what? When you have law and order, the rule of law, our Constitution, and you are trying to repair this country that's been taken advantage of. Democrats consider the 14th Amendment okay for anchor babies when it was a slave-written amendment for the children of slaves to be granted citizenship. And now it's being abused by people from China and Russia flying in, having their baby here in the United States. They just took down a ring out of LA 2 weeks ago. We covered for people to come across our southern border, have a baby, and now that baby has United States citizenship. That's not how it was intended, but that's what Democrats want. So, and then the Democrats for so long controlling our educational system has put that in the younger generations. I seen a graph last night where the students, now there's always a silver lining and a little bit of positiveness when it comes. All those students that were in high school during the pandemic, that were forced to be at home in front of a laptop or a computer monitor, voted differently than the ones just 2 years before. And it was like a 23% shift away from Democrats, 23 or 24% shift. And I was like, you know why? They weren't sitting in that indoctrination center all day long. They were able to jump on the internet and see what we were saying, what you were saying, what other folks, and they were able to make up their mind on their own. And I just thought it was interesting that was that big of a shift between just 4 year split in generations. Now another one, CFPB, another agency that Democrats seem to worship and love. Listen to Senator Elizabeth Warren on Elon Musk. And then we have a great video of an independent journalist confronting her about how she had, worth millions of dollars while working on, $174,000 salary.
PB that stands behind him. Let's take a look at Elon Musk. He spent $288 million to get Donald Trump elected. That's a lot of money and a lot of ads. And believe me, they didn't talk about in those ads raising taxes on billionaires. They cutting costs for American families. So now Elon Musk has shown up and said he's ready to collect on his investment. Here's one way that he may be trying to collect on that investment. You know, X, formerly Twitter, lost money hand over fist. Elon Musk has a new plan, and that is X money. That is that he's going to be out there in everybody's financial life. He faces one problem, though, and that is the financial cop on the beat. The CFPB that stands behind him looks over his shoulder and says, you can't cheat people, you can't trick people, and you can't suck up their personal financial data or any personal data and use it just for yourself or sell it to anyone you want to. So what's Elon Musk doing? Well, just a little bit ahead of launching his product, he says, let's shut down the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. Let's take those financial cops off the beat. It is a little like a bank robber saying, I know what let's do. Let's fire the cops, turn off the alarms, just as the bank robber decides to stroll into the lobby of the bank. I think that people are beginning to tumble to what Elon Musk is up to. And I think this is going to be one of the places where the rubber's going to hit the road on whether or not Elon Musk runs this country, or we're going to pull this back and have a democracy that actually works for the American people. Let's take a look at Elon Musk.
I love it. They are so triggered. So with this being said, the consumer, this protection bureau, and we're going to get into it. I'm actually going to do, it's not a whiteboard. I guess it'll be called a grok board. I want to show you because Elizabeth Warren is saying that this agency has gotten back $21 billion since its inception to the American people. And we're going to figure out what your return was on that here in a minute. But before we do, can anybody raise their hand if they've received money from the CFPB, since it's protecting Americans? We got a decent audience in here. We come from all ranges, all backgrounds. How many people? Please raise your hand if the Consumer Federal Protection Bureau has done anything for you or saved you in any way. Have you even ever contacted them? I don't see anything. I don't see anything yet in the chat. Well, good, because for me either. And I've had 20 bank accounts in my life. So I had numerous other accounts in my life. So I've purchased a home. I've done all the things that they're supposed to protect things from. Now, before we get into that blackboard, let's take a listen to Nick Sortor. He was assaulted by Elizabeth Warren. Elizabeth Warren elbowed him, and he was assaulted by her staff. Take a look at
their net worth. The shutdown. So Senator Warren, why are you so afraid of transparency? Why are you bothered by the fact that Elon Musk is attempting to expose all of this fraudulent spending? What is that about? What is the problem here? What is the problem with transparency? Do not touch me. Do not touch me. Senator Warren, I just want to answer a question. How did you get a $12 million net worth on a $200,000 salary in Congress? How did you do that?
Excuse me.
How did you do that? You can keep trying to block my camera. We're on a public sidewalk, so. Get off of me. So you don't want to answer that question. What is it about Doge that's such a problem to you? You just elbowed me, Senator. I got that on camera.
Thank you.
Transparency is your enemy.
The shutdown.
So Senator Warren, why are you so afraid of transparency? Why are you bothered?
Great job, Nick. Wow. This is just incredible. He also caught, let's see, who is this lady? I can never remember the bald-headed lady's name. Ayanna Pressley. Listen to this.
We're going to make a little Are you okay? Congressman, what do you have to say about the fact that FEMA just spent $59 million housing illegal immigrants while people in Western North Carolina lived in tents for the past past 4 months. What do you have to say about that? Do you accept that? Do you accept that? Do you accept the fact that because Doge exposed that today, it sounds like you have a big problem with the fact that Doge. I'm not blocking her. I'm not blocking. Excuse me. Are you okay with that? Do you condemn the fact that Doge exposed FEMA for sending $59 million to house illegal immigrants today?
Excuse me, sir.
Do you condone that?
Excuse me, sir.
I don't know who the
I don't know who. I tell you what. If I don't know who you are. Let's go. You're in the way.
I'm not in the way.
You are in the way.
Okay, then get out of my way. Oh, what's that? What's that look? What's that look?
Oh man, this
Congressman, what do you have to say about the fact
the true grifters
that FEMA just
that
spent
are calling out, and they are just upset because their money laundering scheme has been exposed. USAID, FEMA, all these different things, and we're learning like, wow. And we've been telling you about the NGOs for a long time. So if you didn't know about it or you acted surprised, you need to go hit your head on the wall, because we have been extensively talking about the billions of dollars. Now, so let's go to the Financial Protection Bureau, the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. Anybody can Google, and the projected budget for them in 2025 is $810 million. A lot of money, a lot of money. And so I wanted to go through here and just give you guys an idea. I have Grok up, and we're going to ask some questions and we're going to take notes. So they are saying, and I said it before, that's $21 billion. And this is amazing. If you guys don't use Grok, it's amazing. I told you guys that before. So it started on July 21st, 2010. So July 21st, 2010. I'm taking notes because I gotta. And so I'm going to ask Grok, how many days has it been since it was established? Watch this. $5,259 days. So we have 5,259 days. Now, I'm just going to figure this out. So I'm going to take 21 billion divided by 5,259. So there we have this number here. Did it work right? Yeah, 21 billion. And then now we have approximately, you know what? Let me write down that number. 3,993,335. So we have 3,993,335. I'm going to say, can you divide that amount by America's, or by the United States population? So let's see. It's getting. So there's our answer, folks. So essentially something that's for the American people since its inception. Again, I know this is a little drawn out. I wanted to do it so you could follow. So I didn't just put up a chart and you guys go, where the hell did you come up with that number? So the amount per person in the United States would be approximately a little over a penny. A little over a penny. But we're going to spend, hold on, I just thought of something else. Okay, so we know that's 0.011. So a penny and a tenth is what pretty much this Protection Bureau. Now, we talked about it a minute ago. We have this right here. I'm going to show you. The Consumer Financial Protection Bureau's projected budget for the fiscal year 2025 is $810 million. So let's do something else now. Let's have some fun with Grok again. Divide, what was it? 810 million. Divide 810 million by the U.S. population and see what you're paying. So it's costing you $2.37 per person. Obviously, it's costing most of us more because the population includes minors and children that don't pay. So you're paying more for this agency than what its benefits are to those who receive them. These are slush funds. I had to go the long route because I actually did this when I was in the courthouse yesterday. We went down to Bakersfield for Crystal Aguilar, the one that desecrated the American flag and told the police. We're going to cover a little bit of that at the end, but told the police she was going to kill them and her children and their children. And I'm sitting there and I'm reading these statements and I'm like, why is it only Democrats, especially far left socialist Democrats that pretend to be Indians to get ahead in this world, that are so upset about this? And so when I started doing the numbers, I was like, oh, that's why. I love this. Secretary Kristi Noem, instead of having Biden's 87,000 IRS agents take more money from Americans, I have requested that they help taxpayers save money by helping ICE round up criminal illegal aliens for deportation. Oh, man, Trump touched on this. I love this. I love this. I love this. And the word is on the streets that if you don't want to do the job you're appointed for, to go round up, you lose your job. What a way to save money. What a way to save money. Now, before we get in, that was some great news. Now we're going to get into the lying, cheating, stealing FBI that we are waiting for a confirmation for Kash Patel so he can go in there and clean house, and Democrats are delaying that right now. I want you to listen to Tom Homan. As we reported a couple times, both in Aurora, Colorado, the gangs were tipped off that there was going to be an ICE raid. In Los Angeles, it came out, I think it was through the LA Times, that they got inside information that ICE would be doing raids at the end of this month. Listen to Tom Homan here.
Current investigation, we think we had... What is our Tom Homan? Tom, where are these leaks coming from?
Well, look, we think it's coming from inside, and we know the first leak of Aurora is under current investigation. We think we identified that person under investigation right now. The California leak, Secretary Noem,
What is our Tom Homan? Tom, where are these leaks coming from?
She's correct. And what I tell you yesterday, we showed you Secretary Noem's tweet. Let me pull it up again just so you guys could see it. And I was like, wow. For the Secretary of the Department of Homeland Security to say that is an incredible. And what it was is, and I'm pulling up right now, it says the FBI is so corrupt. We will work with any and every agency to stop leaks and prosecute these crooked deep state agents to the fullest extent of the law. Promise is made, promise is kept. This is looking so good. I'm excited. And then Tom Homan was asked this morning about some of the deportations, and listen to what he says.
Today?
Mr. Homan, is the president happy with the number of arrests?
I'm not. The rest, if you look at the rest in the interior enforcement, it's about 3 times higher than it was a year ago today. 3 times higher is good, but I'm not satisfied. There's more criminal aliens that need to be arrested, hundreds of thousands. Sanctuary cities are putting roadblocks up. We got leaks. So we need to increase the arrest of illegal aliens, especially those with criminal convictions. So we're going to continue. So 3 times higher is good. The numbers are good. For me, not good enough. We got to get more.
That's why Trump appointed him as border czar, saying, yeah, we're 3 times more than we were last year at this time, but that's not good enough. Not good enough. Bill Malugan posted this newly announced ICE HSI arrest of illegal aliens. In the RGV, which is the Rio Grande Valley, Gulf Cartel Sicario from Mexico. So again, cartel. San Antonio, a Tren de Aragua gang member who is suspected shooter in attempted murder investigation. Oh, man, let's go out there and wave those Mexican flags. We don't want these folks arrested. Maryland, Uzbekistan man charged with sex crimes. And in Texas, a Mexico man wanted in Mexico for aggravated homicide after he allegedly beat a homeowner to death in an attempted robbery. These are what people are protesting to keep these people in here. This is what it's all about, guys. Here's some of those pictures just to show you. Love it. Love it. Those people, again, we need to cut down on crime. One of the ways to do that, there's going to be many ways, but stop the fentanyl flowing in, stop the illegal drug markets, arrest them, put them in jail for a long time, get treatment for the folks that are addicted and have mental health problems on our streets. That probably cuts down 40% of the crime, at least in California. And get these illegals out that are part of all this. Now, let me see if there was another one up here. We'll talk about that one at the end. So yesterday, we went down to Bakersfield for Crystal Aguilar. That was the woman who took down the American flag at a park in Bakersfield. She desecrated that flag, threw it in the mud, was raising a Mexican flag, and then threatened officers. Well, I was in the courtroom for her arraignment. She was given a public defender, and she didn't tell the judge, this is Mexico, mother. You know what? She didn't tell the judge that. She's telling the cops, this is Mexico. But now she's in a United States jail cell. And she's been there for 5-6 days now. And the court date, I think the preliminary court date's the 23rd. Her court date's the 24th. Facing 1 felony and 4 misdemeanors. The only thing she did do in court, she didn't, is when they were talking about the felony, the judge was talking about the felony, she kind of gave that. Me? And so it was great to see. Here's her picture in court. This is what she looked like in court right there. Absolutely insane, guys. And then here, just to give you guys a refresher, here was her speaking with police.
Tell me what to do. This is Mexican land. Tell me what to do. This is Mexican land.
This is Mexican land, MFer.
Look at that flag, because that flag isn't on the floor, is it? Hey. Is it? Hey. You can't say I'm disrespecting. No, esta es mi tierra. Esta es mi tierra. Esta es mi tierra.
Come here.
Okay, my people kill you.
Turn around.
I'm going to
my people kill you. She's talking about the Brown Berets and La Raza. Those are the people who identify with her, the extremists that we're on stolen land, and they will be getting pretty violent in the upcoming months. We've already seen that, the stabbings, people being beat outside the protest where people are carrying Mexican flags. Take a listen.
Hurting me, and you're going to regret it when you... Okay. Touch me, when your kids die.
Touch me, MFer, when your kids die.
When your kids die, you're squishing my hand, and they already know. You don't need to take me.
Stop her.
Take me. Take me. Take me.
Take her down.
Take me.
She's all right. We'll get her.
Stop.
All this happening.
So it was interesting to see that. We will make it back up there for the court case. If we are in town, and again, I appreciate everybody who donated gas and covered the gas and covered a meal. Thank you, guys. We are 100% viewer funded. We do this by your blessings, and we want to say thank you for that. There is some more stuff we're talking about doing possibly as soon as this weekend. And we want to thank you. If you want to help out and contribute to this platform so we can do what we do, it's Venmo at Oreo Josh, Cash App, $Oreo Army, givesendgo.com/Oreo 2024. And if you like to use our Zelle link, it's on our website, theoreoexpress.com. Old Uncle Bill just gifted 5 subscriptions. If you're in the house right now, guys, and you don't have a subscription and you chat, you will get one. It looks like Freedom Cowgirl, Patty Voss, Hunter Soley, and Soley, Hunter, and Patty Voss, Freedom Cowgirl, all got memberships. Give Old Uncle Bill a thank you. Thank you, Old Uncle Bill, for helping us out and doing that. And Rick Brown in the house too. We should have, I got to look this up. Oh, before we go, check this out. When you want to talk about, I'm going to show you a little difference in the golden age era versus the Biden Democrat era. And let me do this. There's other videos out there, but I just want to show you this. So Secretary of our Defense, Pete Hegseth, was out there training with his people, the people he supports, the warriors, the armed forces of America. And check this out there actually training with these folks, running with these folks. Those are all people that put their lives on the line. I don't think you ever seen Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin do anything but kind of eat and wear a mask. Look at that. That's not the golden era there. A double, triple face mask showing weak leadership. But now that Pete's in there, guys, it is great stuff. Great stuff. And again, we appreciate your support. We'll probably be doing a stream later after I get home from church. It'll be a late night stream. We're working on changing up the platform we are using so that we can hopefully earn a little bit more money on the streams using Rumble Studios. And so we played with it a little earlier. We might even play with it again. I might try to not put notifications out for that because we want to make sure we're not wasting time on the air. But you guys will see a little bit different changes. It's going to take me getting used to it. It's going to take you getting used to it. But I want to say thank you to all you guys tuning in. I appreciate you all. And if anything comes breaking in the next 5 hours, we will be live for it. God bless you all.
I'm excited to announce that we're having our first ever mega sale on overstock clearance and brand new products. For example, save over 50% on this season's flannel sheets. Queen size only $59.98. Kings only $69.98. They sell out fast every year, so order now. Save 20% on our brand new My Crosses. They're designed in the likeness of the one I've worn every day for over 20 years. They come in men's and women's, and they're made right here in the USA. Get our 2025 6-piece My Towel sets for only $29.98. Our initial quantities are extremely low, so get them now before they go. And our best-selling standard My Pillows, just $14.98. So go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use this promo code to take advantage of our first ever mega sale. But wait, remember that $75 free shipping rule? Well, that ship is sailed because right now, every order ships absolutely free.